there have been three things that I have consistently used in my journaling for the past couple of years, and that is the perfect combination of pen, ink, and paper. I'm kind of curious if anyone wants to take a guess right now. If you think you know what my favorite pen, ink, and paper combination is. Did you do it? Did you guess? All right, here we go. Diamine Prussian Blue with the Pilot Custom 823 and a Leuchtturm notebook. So there are two size Leuchtturm notebooks that I tend to bounce between, and that is the Pocket, sometimes listed as A6, and the A5 size. These are both the hardcover. There are soft cover options. I've never tried them myself. Part of the reason why I like this notebook so much is because of the hardcover. So why do I like these things so much, individually and together? Well, for starters, the matte chalkiness of the Prussian blue ink is just, it really gets me. It's the perfect blue for me. And that combined with the texture of the Leuchtturm paper is just, it really enhances that kind of matte chalkiness. There's just something, I don't know how to explain it. The paper, it's a thicker paper. It has just the tiniest bit of grit, and I think it just pairs really nicely. It's still a smooth writing experience, and it has a little bit of ghosting, which is when you can see your writing on the opposite side, which I really love. It just makes it look more filled in, I suppose, as you progress through the journal. But it's not so thin and smooth like a Tomoe River paper, for example. It's definitely thicker than that. It's definitely thicker than the Stalogy notebook paper. I would say it's more in line with the Midori in terms of thickness, but a little bit grittier. And I like that texture. I like that contact. This is that kind of, for me, suggests your pen is now making contact with the paper. The ink is now falling onto the sheet. It's very connected. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Tomoe River paper. It's really fun to play around with, and it's really fun to do ink swatches on because it reacts so uniquely and really enhances all the various traits that a single ink can have. But it's too smooth for my liking. For my everyday writing, I like the Leuchtturm paper the best. I also really love the Leuchtturm notebook because it has a hardcover, has a variety of really beautiful colors, has an elastic in the back to hold the notebook together, has two ribbons that I think are really well made and durable. Often notebooks come with a single ribbon and they unravel really easily and they snag really easily. I've never experienced that with the Leuchtturm bookmarkers. I also love the numbering system on the bottom of the page, that it has the page number. I don't really use the index or anything, and I don't necessarily reference specific page numbers, but I still like knowing where I'm at in the notebook and seeing an actual concrete number. I also love the ruling. As someone that writes small, this spacing is really ideal for me. Often notebooks are too widely spaced and my handwriting kind of swims and looks out of place, but it feels very much like it belongs on this ruling. And then there is, of course, my favorite pen. This has a wonderful nib. The nib in the 18 karat fine is perfect for my writing. It is smooth and wet while still just enough feedback to say you're making contact with the paper. It's just the perfect balance for me. It has a piston, or actually it's a vac filler. Same, it's a piston, but anyways, that's a different, that can be a different video. It's a vac filler. The whole body fills up with ink. I always know exactly how much ink is in there. And because it holds so much ink, I feel very confident traveling with it, not worrying about running out of ink because it does hold so much. Now, I did have to modify this pen. There's a secondary O-ring that prevents it from leaking on a plane flight, but it also makes the pen dry out when you're writing with it, and then you have to kind of burp the pen. You have to open up the back valve there to let air into the body. I didn't want to mess with that. I don't fly in planes that often, and so I've taken out that O-ring completely. The balance and weight of this pen is also really nice and comfortable for me. I never feel fatigued after a long writing session. I don't post the pen, otherwise it would be too long and a little bit back-weighted, but unposted, it's really quite perfect. But visually, it's not my favorite, and that has been my only complaint. But everything else is just absolutely perfect. And let's face it, I like things that complement each other. So the shade of blue with the amber brown of the body, the gold detailing of the nib and the trimmings, it just comes together and creates this beautiful look. And now with this particular cover, it's just that is echoed again, that brown with that beautiful chalky blue that is very reminiscent of the ruling color and the page numbers, and it just, yeah. I'm a sucker for a good combination, and I found it with the Leuchtturm notebook, Pilot Custom 823, and the Diamine Prussian Blue. And I'm basically now just realizing I'm wearing an outfit that also echoes that combination. I've got that shade of blue, I have the glasses that are that shade of brown that, yeah, I guess I like that combination a lot. So that's it. I think I can say with confidence and certainty, as indecisive as I am, and as much as I like changing things around, this combination is one of my absolute favorites, and it has withstood the test of time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.